We are a step closer to restoring decency, dignity, and honor to the White House. That's our ultimate goal.
Yes.
Joe Biden's winning streak continues. Last night, the former vice president scored wins in Michigan, Missouri, Mississippi, and Idaho. This morning, Washington State is still too close to call.
KCRA3 political analyst and Senior Vice President of Randall Communications Kevin Riggs here now with the Riggs Report. Bernie Sanders, the projected winner in North Dakota, but not in these other places. Is there any sign coming in that he's preparing to end his campaign?
Well, you know, it is just remarkable how Joe Biden's fortunes have changed dramatically in just the last 2 weeks. And as you said, that winning streak continued last night with those wins in all of those states, as contrasted to Bernie Sanders, whose campaign seems to be stalling out. So it was interesting last night. Sanders watched the returns at home in Vermont. Uncharacteristically, he did not come out and make a public statement, did not make a public appearance. The loss in Michigan, especially stinging for Bernie Sanders, since he won there decisively in 2016. He had put a lot of time and money into the state this year, but Biden won that by a large margin. Many voters telling exit pollsters they're looking for someone who they think can effectively take on Donald Trump in the fall. Also, the fact that it was too close to call in Washington State, a big problem for Bernie Sanders. He's going to be facing a lot of pressure in the days ahead to step aside.
Well, Kevin, the coronavirus having an impact on public gatherings, and we understand now they're not going to have an audience for the next presidential debate.
That's right. If people wanted to watch the debate live in Phoenix this coming weekend, they'll have to watch it at home instead, along with everybody else. The Democratic National Committee announced this week that they are canceling plans to bring in a live audience for that debate in Phoenix on Sunday between Sanders and Biden. And they say it was done at the request of both campaigns out of an abundance of caution. Also interesting that the two campaigns had to cancel large rallies this week in Cleveland, Ohio, again out of an abundance of caution. If that trend continues, that's especially problematic for Bernie Sanders, since his campaign has largely been known for these large and enthusiastic rallies.
Do you think that changes just the actual debate itself in terms of the way they interact with each other?
I've got to think so, because when you have an audience, it does sort of change the dynamics on how the candidates, even though it's obviously just two candidates, it really does change the dynamics about how they respond to each other.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the impact on Capitol business due to the virus.
Well, and it's interesting. It appears to be business as usual at the state capitol, even though the state has issued guidelines for extra precautions for mass gatherings in counties where the coronavirus has shown up. It appears that things at the Capitol largely business as usual. Democratic leaders in the Senate and Assembly are saying that they are monitoring the situation with the coronavirus, but are not making any changes at this point. And so it appears that they're going to be continuing with what they've been doing, again, with committee hearings, floor hearings, and regular meetings. I guess there'll be a lot of hand washing at the state capitol.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Gosh, between impeachment and then the election and now coronavirus, no shortage of things for you to write about in your blog these days.
It's a matter of just throwing a dart and trying to decide.
Wow, 2020 is just exhausting. You can read Kevin's blog on our KCRA News app. Comes up every Thursday.
Well, still ahead.